5 fragrances that every classy man should have in their wardrobe. Number 1, Acqua di Parma, Colonia Intensa. If you don't own anything from Acqua di Parma, I would recommend buying one, but buy this one. This is, for me, probably the best one that you can buy, at least the best one that I've tried. This is a beautiful citrus and ambery fragrance. So you've got lemon, bergamot, but you've also got energetic ginger, you've got spicy cardamom, and you've got plenty of white floral notes such as neroli. But this does change, doesn't just stay a fresh citrus clean fragrance. This goes a bit more kind of ambery and leathery in the base, so you get some strength as well. So this is number 1, Colonia Intensa. Now the great thing about this list is they're all relatively affordable. Now number 2, you could go for the expensive Yves Saint Laurent Tuxedo, but we can get 80% the way there with Moustache, okay? So you could buy this, you could save some money, and you could still smell like a classy gentleman. So Moustache is a mix of benzoin, patchouli, and vanilla. That's going to be the main notes to me. It's very warming. It smells quite timeless. It's a very classic fragrance that I don't think anybody would be offended by. It doesn't smell particularly old-fashioned. It doesn't smell youthful. It's a really good in-the-middle kind of fragrance. I wouldn't suggest that someone who is maybe under 18 could pull this off that well. This is much more of an elegant fragrance, maybe a businessman, someone like that. This also works great on a date night because it's not so strong. It's one of those fragrances that is found on the person. It's not projecting so much. It's when you get close to someone and you smell this beautiful patchouli and vanilla mix. So this is ROCHAS Moustache Eau de Parfum. So much like Acqua di Parma, GUERLAIN are another house that I recommend buying at least one of their fragrances if you haven't tried them already, because they're fairly priced, they're classy, and they're fantastic perfume house. So my favorite from GUERLAIN is L'Homme Ideal EDP. So this is a very classy, elegant fragrance. This is someone who is going to work wearing a suit. This makes a great signature scent, but I wouldn't say it's very casual. This needs to be dressed up to be appreciated, which is why it's in this classy men's fragrance list. This is almond, cherry, incense, sweetness, tonka bean with a hint of leather, but not noticeable. It just gives a bit of a backbone to the composition. So one thing I need to say about Ideal ADP, it is quite sweet. So if you're a man that doesn't particularly like overly sweet fragrances, you might not enjoy this. It's one of those fragrances that not many people will be wearing as well. So if you want something a bit different, you want to smell different to everyone in your office, to all your friend group, something like Ideal EDP is going to do that for you, because not many people will be smelling like this, and it's a fantastic fragrance to get for the money. If you are a classy gentleman, or if that's how you want to smell, you go into a formal event, Ideal EDP would be my number 3. Now, you have to be very careful wearing this next fragrance, number 2, because it's different, it's strong, it's quite potent, and it could be offensive to some people. So this is Gucci Intense Oud, one of the best designer fragrances that you can buy, I believe. This has some similar qualities to the niche fragrance Nasomato Black Afghano, which in itself is a very challenging composition. This is not quite as challenging, but it is up there. And this is a really good entry-level oud fragrance. If you want to get into that note oud and how it works, what it smells like, this is a good choice because it's challenging, it's dark, it's mysterious, it's very sexy in its own way, but it does have this relatively easy to wear quality, especially when we compare it to niche oud fragrances. This has lots of incense, woody notes, it's leathery. So this one for me is only a nighttime fragrance. I wouldn't ever wear this in the daytime. I don't see when I would find the opportunity. But a nighttime fragrance, dressed up in a suit, this works wonderful. Gucci Intense Oud, number 2. So my number 1 from Dior, this is Dior Homme Intense. I really couldn't think of a number 1 fragrance that fits that bill of an elegant man better than Dior Homme Intense. It's such a versatile, formal wear fragrance. It's not one that's going to offend anyone. I could have gone for Dior Homme Parfum, but it does have the ability to be offensive. It's very strong. This one is kind of just toned down a bit. It's not as strong and as leathery as the Dior Homme Parfum. This is much more elegant and easier to wear. This predominantly is lavender, iris, and pear. That's the main 3 notes I get, with some woody notes in the base. The pear is really important here because it adds some slight sweetness, and you also get actually some cocoa as well, some kind of chocolatey note as well. But the iris, or iris in general, is a formal note. Any fragrance with iris in typically leans a bit more formal to me. So like most of these fragrances we've looked at, I wouldn't wear this casually. You could do, I just wouldn't choose to wear it casually. I prefer to go for a sporty blue fragrance if I'm wearing casual clothes. But formal, this is my go-to fragrance. Any wedding, interview, work party, any formal event, this is going to have you smelling absolutely brilliant. You're going to really fit the occasion superbly well, and no one is going to be offended by what you're wearing. The only comments you'll get is, what are you wearing? You smell unbelievable. Dior Homme Intense, number one, classy, elegant men's fragrance. Hope you got something from this video. Let me know your favorite fragrance to wear in these formal situations.